At 32, you can still get an 18-year-old. At 37, I can still get 18-year-old girls.
Men are the prize because men have to bring way more to the table than women do.
99% of the world's problems will be solved if females walk through life with their body count on their forehead.
I know guys that have stepped out on their marriage hundreds of times, but they still love their wife, they still love their children.
Modern men are completely delusional, believing that they're the prize and that young, beautiful women are pursuing them. Middle-aged men with old, saggy balls. The men's rights movement they've created is absolutely hysterical. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly why their ideologies are embarrassingly ridiculous and completely detached from reality.
It's not in your best interest as a man to get married anymore. It's a machine designed to extract resources from you, and that machine constantly needs to feed on your money.
The hassle of getting married, losing your money, or even just headaches. Why not just get a robot and then go back to work?
This is one of the core beliefs of red pill ideology. They argue that marriage is completely useless to men because they see it as a manipulation tactic. According to them, women only want marriage so they can later divorce and take 50% of everything their husbands built. But let's start with the actual facts. The overwhelming majority of millionaires in the US are men, around 70%. And according to a US Trust report, 86% of millionaires are married. That means the vast majority of millionaires are married men. Now let's look at billionaires. 88% of billionaires are men, and 85% of them are also married. Do you notice a pattern? The men with the most at stake, millionaires and billionaires, overwhelmingly choose marriage. Meanwhile, the men screaming the loudest about marriage being a scam are usually the ones with nothing accomplished in the first place. Because we see that actually men with real wealth, assets, and responsibility overwhelmingly choose marriage. That's why when Red Pill says marriage is a scam for high-value men, it's just a coping mechanism. The kinds of women they want would never marry them. That's why they get online and repeat the same nonsense over and over. And it works because other men who also can't get the women they want eat it up and tell themselves that they're also too good for marriage, and that women only want to use men anyway. Meanwhile, men who actually have something to offer overwhelmingly choose marriage. Let's keep going.
Men are seen as worker droids. They're expected to go work all day, come home, clean up as well, share the cleaning with the woman, no meal prepared for them, not have any authority over the household, and just be a worker droid.
This is another one of their completely delusional takes, that men work all day, come home, and then do everything at home too, while women just sit around doing nothing. So let's look at the actual facts. Research shows that even just simply having a husband adds an additional 7 hours of housework per week for women. Another study shows that even when women work full-time, they still do around 2/3 of the housework in marriage. And even in countries like the UK, where equality and partnership are constantly preached, women still do about 70% of all housework, even when they work full-time. Across multiple studies, the same conclusion shows up again and again. Even in households where both parents work full-time, the majority of day-to-day responsibilities still fall on mothers. So no, men are not being turned into worktoids. If anything, the opposite is happening. Women are working full-time and then coming home to do most of the housework, while their loser men sit around and complain. But let's not forget, women are adults, and especially if you're a working woman with income, options, and the ability to leave, choosing to stay in a dynamic like this makes you a willing participant, not a victim. Women who tolerate this behavior damage the reputation of marriage just as much as red pill men do, because they have every opportunity to walk away, but they don't. They refuse accountability, get online and cry to the whole world, only to then turn around and defend their useless husbands. Not all men are like this. Not all marriages are like this. Stop rewarding selfish men with marriage and the problem disappears.
But you're going to have a much harder time replacing me than I will have to replace you. I can go on Instagram right now and there's a new class of 18-year-olds.
There's a new girl turning 18 every day that you can coach to become a ride or die man.
The most they have to offer is their body. Men are what we provide in a relationship is everything else.
This is another one of their core beliefs, that men are irreplaceable, while women are easily replaceable. That every day there's a new girl turning 18, so these high-value men can always just upgrade to a younger one. Okay, let's see what the facts actually say. Research shows that when a spouse dies, widowers do far worse than widows. Widows are often happier, while men struggle significantly after losing their wife. And there's a reason for that. About 60% of men say their wife is their best friend, while only 30% of women say the same. Women tend to have multiple emotionally fulfilling relationships, while many men rely on marriage as their main, sometimes only, source of emotional connection. So when men claim women are replaceable, the data shows the opposite. It's actually women who are more capable of moving on, because they're not emotionally dependent on a single person to function. And this pattern shows up everywhere else too. Married men are about twice as likely to say they're very happy with their lives compared to unmarried men. Married fathers, in particular, report much higher meaning. Nearly 60% say their lives feel meaningful, compared to just 38% of unmarried, childless men. And when men lose that partnership through divorce, separation, or never marrying at all, research consistently shows they face a significantly higher risk of unaliving themselves compared to married men. So no, women aren't interchangeable. If anything, the data shows that marriage is what stabilizes and protects men, which means the red pill belief that men can endlessly upgrade because women are disposable is just another delusional take.
I think it's like by 2040, like half of the women will be childless and not married.
Women will peak around the early 20s, and at the point of around 30, there's an intersection where women's value starts to decline and men's value is still carrying on and increasing.
These red pill men love repeating the statistic like it's supposed to scare women, that half of all women will end up single and childless, that women peak in their early 20s, and that once you pass that age, you lose all value. But the problem is that these men don't understand this statistic or what it even means. But either way, let's just say for a second they were right. Let's say more women really do end up unmarried and childless. We already established something important earlier. Men suffer significantly without marriage or long-term partnership, with a much higher risk of unaliving themselves when compared to married men. So what does the data say about unmarried, childless women? The complete opposite. Unmarried, childless women are consistently the happiest demographic. Now let's go back to where this claim actually comes from. The idea that half of all women will be single and childless because they've passed their peak. The statistic they're trying to reference is that about 45% of working age women, meaning ages 25 to 44, are projected to be single by 2030. But when you actually look at what's happening, this is a good thing. Women aren't single because they're unwanted or losing value. They're single because they're choosing to marry later. A few decades ago, the average woman got married at 20 years old. Today, the average age is almost 30. So of course, more women in the working age group are single. They're not rushing into marriage anymore. That's where this statistic comes from. Not women being unwanted, not women losing value. Women are just waiting longer. Red pill men take that delay and turn it into a threat. They tell women, see, you're all going to end up alone. But in reality, it means women stopped marrying out of desperation and started marrying on purpose. They're waiting until they're older, more established, and more self-aware, instead of marrying the first man who shows up like the previous generation. And research backs this up. When women marry later, their marriages are more stable and last longer. That's why these men twist this statistic, because what they really want is to scare women into panicking, lowering their standards and settling for losers like them. But the truth is simple. Women are demanding more, and men who refuse to improve are finally getting left behind.
I'm in a relationship, open on my side, so I'm allowed to sleep with other women and this and that.
This is another delusional take red pill men love to push, that men should be allowed to sleep around, have open relationships, and chase multiple women, while women are expected to stay loyal and exclusive. Their excuse is always the same. Men need variety. Men have stronger urges. Men can't help it. So let's look at the actual facts. Research shows that about 95% of straight men say they almost always orgasm during sexual intimacy. For women, that number drops to around 65%. So right away, the idea that men are the ones being deprived or unsatisfied doesn't hold up. Men are already getting what they want. If anyone isn't being satisfied, it's women, which by red pill logic would mean women should be the ones seeking multiple partners. Even multiple studies show that women get bored with sexual exclusivity faster than men do. Women's desire drops, not men's. That means if anyone struggles more with monogamy, it's actually women. But women are the ones expected to be loyal, disciplined, and committed, while men claim they're incapable of doing the same. The truth is that if a woman can commit to one man, she's already exercising more discipline than he is, which means expecting exclusivity from men isn't even the bare minimum. It's a non-negotiable. Once again, this red pill belief exists for one reason: to convince women to accept less, tolerate more, and settle for garbage. All of this data points to one simple truth: women were always the prize. Women don't need to beg men to stay. Women don't need to tolerate disrespect. And women definitely don't need to beg for marriage. The facts show that women dramatically improve men's lives in every area: emotionally, socially, financially, and even physically, while men don't come close to doing the same for women. That's why having high standards is your birthright. There is no reason for any woman to stay with a selfish, disrespectful, or degrading man and reward him with loyalty, labor, and companionship. Men like this don't deserve wives. It's that simple. So when men ask, what do you bring to the table? The answer is, the table only exists because women sit at it. Without women, there is no relationship, no family, no legacy. Women bring connection. Women bring community. Women create life, meaning, and fulfillment. When a woman leaves, her life goes on. When a man loses a woman, his life falls apart. That's the difference. A woman doesn't need to idolize a man. The only person she should idolize is herself, because she is the source of the value. And if a man wants partnership, love, and legacy, it is his responsibility to be worthy of a woman, not the other way around.